Oh. Oh, hello. Two people came in, one of them left immediately. That's what we're talking about. That's the kind of, that's what I like to see. Oh, two people are back now. There we go. I don't know what that means. Shut up. You have to. I don't speak child. What does that mean? It was probably accidental. Well, that's what that means. Oh, you meant the first two letters of the. Oh, right, okay. Well, they accidentally came in. Well, they left again. You accidentally clicked too soon. That's not. Don't worry, that happens to the best of us. Oh, God, man. All right, so. Just you and me, Shadowbring. That's the only one. Everyone else is blocked. Apart from the other person who's just come in. Whoever the fuck they are. It's not really, don't worry. You have nothing to say. It's okay, you don't have to say anything. It's not compulsory. Yeah. So how have you been? I'm taking this jacket off. It's far too hot here. This is the problem with solid gold, with clothing made out of solid gold, is it's very hot. Oh. No, 3 people in now. There we go. That's a crowd. Oh. Oh, and 1 thumbs up. There we go. Now we're off to the races. Your dishes are pot. Well, you could clean them, or you just get a takeaway. Thing is, though, you clean all your pots, don't you? You clean all your pots and your dishes and that, and then you go like, right, now they're all clean. Now I'll clean them as I go, and then you don't. You just, you just go back to the same old shit where you just go fuck it. You use them all again, and then you sit there and they collect more. And I have to be honest. Since I've lived on my own, the amount of times I've bought plates and cutlery and pots and pans, and they've just sat there and festered to the point where I've gone, I'm just buying new shit, and I've just thrown them out. And yeah, I've got AirPods now. Someone bought me these for my birthday. Yeah, fucking. And yes, apparently I'm taking them out now because otherwise people will just comment on them, because apparently these really trigger some people. But these really get, I did a video the other day and I had them in, and I got comments going, "Are those AirPods?" I'm like, well, take those things out your ears. That's stupid. I'm like, they're fucking earphones, man. It's just, what planet do you live on where this is a fucking issue for you? Good day. Hello. Oh. Hey, Nico. But yeah. Oh, here we go. They look stupid, but I mean, they're just earphones without the cord hanging from them. They look exactly the same as your normal earbuds. They just don't have the cord hanging off them. That's it. I mean, that's it. That's the only. But they are bloody good, though. I mean, I will say this, I know that Apple has an appeal where it's half of the interest is a quality product, and the other half is just like aesthetics and that. Yeah, but if they work, if that's how they work, I mean, look how many. There's loads of different, they're not the only wireless ones I've got. I've got these wireless ones as well, but these are more like buds that sit in your ear and that. But they've still got this blue light that comes off them, But it doesn't, if they work, how many people copy AirPods? How many AirPod copies are there? There's a reason why. It's because they're the ones, And also the part of having the little bit there is so you can, because this thing is a charging case. So the whole point of having them there is so you can slide them in there, and then they charge. People say they're easier to lose, but I mean, why would they be easier to lose? I mean, I guarantee you this. I mean, they stay in your ear. They don't fall out your ears, and I guarantee you every single. Hey Dusty, I guarantee you every single set of headphones you've ever had, the only reason they fall out your ears is because you fucking you've pulled the cable out with your hand by accident or something. But they're not going to fall out. They're not going to be easier to lose if you take care of them. I mean, if you if you can hear music, they're in your ears. If suddenly the music stops on one side, you're going to go, But I don't hear lots. I mean, people assume that there's going to be. I guarantee you, they'll last a lot fucking longer. I mean, I'm constantly. Do you know who the genius is? Do you know who the genius is? Whoever invented these things, these fucking USB, these I must buy. I guarantee. I have to buy a new one of these fuckers every month. I don't know what they make them out of, but if they last more than a month, that's a miracle. I have to go buy a new, because it's just, it's a miracle, quite frankly. It's not Apple, actually. Actually, the company that makes you know, a lot of, you know, this ain't, you know, the Apple ones tend to be fine. You know, Apple stuff is generally well made. That's why I sort of like, I like it, is because I've always had an iPhone. It's never broken. It never crashes, or it never gets hacked. It never gets fucking, you know. It's you know, people have a go at it, but it's like, I've had it. I've been using Apple since 2000. I've been having iPhones and iPads since 2011. They never fucking break, and I break everything, you know. No, my phone never fucking, never broken. Yeah, but if your phone falls in the toilet, that's not Apple's fault, is it? I mean, that could happen to any phone, couldn't it? I mean, it could. And in all fairness, I mean, a lot of the stuff breaks because I'm just incredibly heavy-handed with everything. You know, the earphone, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like these Apple Bear. I just like the fact that you pick them up and they connect, and that's it. There's no fucking. They disconnect. You take them out of your ears, they disconnect. You put them back in, they reconnect. So there's no fucking around with like you know, like with my other earbuds. Like when I have to connect them via Bluetooth, there's two fucking things. So I'm pushing both of them. Like I said, I like them, and they're, you know, and I'm not hurting anyone. So, what I'm doing at the moment, by the way, if you're wondering what the stream title is all about, is I'm currently reinstalling Windows onto my PC. I've because it's just my PC's got to a point where everything's freezing, everything's crashing, you know, and it's just. You know, I can't. I've got a video that I should have had done 4 days ago that I can't edit because every single fucking time I move the fucking mouse and click on something, it freezes. If I save it, it freezes, and then eventually it will freeze to the point and it will just crash. I have to save it, literally every edit and stuff, and it's just I'm never gonna get it done. So I thought, I've tried everything I fucking can. So all I've got to do, so all I can do is, I've got to the point where it's like literally reinstalling Windows. But I'm kind of worried about how long this is going to take, because it's now been an hour. It's been over an hour since I started refreshing, and it says getting a few things ready, 1%. Now, if it takes that long for every percent, maybe I can upload it. Yeah, but I couldn't upload it because how can I upload something? It's on my computer. I can't, you know, I can't save it or anything, you know, and I can't put it on my phone. I can't upload it from my phone because it's not on my phone. You know. Now, yeah, I could put it on my phone, but then that would require me having to fucking render it, which I can't do because it keeps freezing and crashing. And literally every 5 minutes, I have to fucking start all over again. And if I haven't saved everything, then it will just go back, you know. Then it will just end up going back, you know. If there was if there was an editor, I mean, I don't know if anyone knows of any editing apps that are decent, you know, that I could, you know, because my videos are simple enough. But all I want is just to fucking get this. I wouldn't mind, but this video was meant to be just like a sort of an easy bit of fun video that I did whilst I was working on other stuff. Yeah, but that still involves getting the video on YouTube. I said this all still involves any edit. That would still involve me rendering the video that I've got and uploading that onto YouTube. which I can't do because the fucking thing freezes every time, you know. Stop smoking. Brilliant. On Black Friday. Yeah, Black Friday, because that's only a year away. It's a month away. Right. Okay, let's work this out. Yeah, but the thing is, it's just a stupid suggestion. Just to stop playing. There's lots of things I could not do. I could not have a Netflix account. That would save money. I could not have. I could get a cheaper internet connection. That would save money. I could. There's loads of things you can do. Just saying stop smoking. Then do it. Oh, just piss off, mate. Can we stick to the realms of fucking reality for a second? Okay, because that's obviously not going to happen. Plus, in a month, hold on, that's 200 and that's about £200 in a month. Can you get a PC for that? And it's not really much useful now because I kind of need to make videos now. You know, making videos in a month is not fucking useful to me. I kind of need to make videos now. I need to make multiple videos in the... Thank you, Bill Clinton. It is here. I kind of need to make multiple videos in the next few days. Yeah, melt down my yeah. Melt down my shirt. Yeah. I could melt it. It's not going to be very gold. It won't be. It won't be very gold. It'll just probably turn. Actually, it's probably quite terrifying. If I set this on fire, I imagine it would go. It would just go up in flames. But. Like I said, this thing, I don't know how long this is going to, you know, like most things connected with Windows, it just seems to take updates or things like this seem to take forever. It's still on 1%. If it takes this long to do 1%, if it takes this long to do every single percent of a reinstall, then by the time this fucking thing, it'll be November. You're assembling your new chair. Lovely. So I thought it would be a laugh. Start a live stream, and then see what's finished. What ends first? This live stream, or Windows reinstall. Can I beat the Windows reinstall? No, I used to get loads of... I can get a second-hand computer and that. You know, but... I don't think I'd get one. I don't think I'd get one for $40, but, you know... So I probably should get... I should probably get like a netbook or something like I used to. That used to be my main computer. I used to have like a tiny little netbook thing that was like about the size of... It was about that big, the screen. It's a little bit it's about twice the size of a fucking iPhone, and then like, and that used to be my main computer. Yeah. What annoys me is though, why don't Windows Movie Maker just like, you used to get Windows Movie Maker as default, but it doesn't work on Windows 10. I mean, you can get the fucking app on Windows 10, but then you open it, and it won't save it. It won't save any of the files because it just doesn't work on Windows 10. I'm like, well, why? Why do that? Why not just fucking allow people? Why not just, it works? It's a perfectly good, simple editing system. Why not just fucking? You say that, but they did fine. They did fine for ages without it. They did fine. It's like Windows. I mean, Windows do. You can get a video editing program, but I mean, it's just fucking, just fucking work. Well, they did though, didn't they? They replaced it with Windows Movie Maker Live, which was utter garbage. It was incomprehensible, and it just made no sense. It was completely counterintuitive. The way they got it, we're at a point now where all mainstreams, all mainstream. Yeah, but Windows Movie Maker was fine. It was so simple. There's your files up there. Drag them down there. Fucking edit them there. It was simple. It was intuitive. It was fucking straightforward. Okay, I don't know what an APK is, mate. You're gonna have to. It's not whether I can get a Windows Movie Maker. Like I said, you can get it on there. It doesn't work on Windows 10. And the thing is, I open up my thingy, my video editing software, and it says you need to update your graphics card or you'll continue to experience instability. So you click on the thing to update your graphics card, and it runs a fucking thing, and it says your drivers and your graphics card is I don't have Windows 8. This thing had Windows 10 installed in it. I'm not going to go back to Windows. Look, it's too late now. I've started the fucking process. The point is, I don't want to have to re-edit this entire fucking video. But yeah, so it says that my things are all update. So it's like, and it does it with everything. Everything fucking freezes, Well, that new update that's supposed to, because it's saying you're running an old version of Windows 10, support for which ends in November. Reinstall it. So I reinstalled it, and it got up to 28%. That was about a week, and then it restarted at that point, and it still hadn't reinstalled. So I was like, because the thing was still there saying reinstall. I'm like, well, what's the fucking point? Why do they do this? Why is it? How is it? I mean, how can it be this difficult? I mean, I know I'm one to criticize because I can't fucking make any of this shit. But at least that's why I don't make computers. That's why I don't make software, because I can't do it. It's like when people release video games and they're just broken from day one. And people just go on about, the games don't... It's like, why did you release it then? Why did you... Why did you let it? Why did you let people, you know, use it? What, you know, no one would care. I can't see anyone kicking off because the Windows, because their Windows hasn't updated for the. It's the, and my Windows always picks the most. It's always the most opportune. Like I'm this close to. I'm about to edit a video, or I'm about to fucking. I've just finished editing a video, and then a Windows update will start, and I'm like, well, that's that for the. That's the next day of my life, fucking gone, isn't it? It's still on 1%. What's the time? It's 1:15. Well, you know. It's 5:15. If this thing is still on 1% at midnight, which is 6.5 hours away, I'm just cancelling it, and we'll have to find. I'll have to think of something else. It's not a laptop, it's a desktop. I bought this in. When did I get this? I think it's 2015, so it's about 4 years. What's your I don't know. I mean, I've got fibre optic, so it's quite. Actually, thinking about it, maybe just reinstalling. Maybe just reinstalling the fucking. I don't know, mate. I don't know what it is. I don't know where I'm supposed to. What am I reading? Well, I'm not going to bring the title. I can't bring anything up now because the thing is refreshing, so I can't use the. There's no point asking me. Point is, I mean, what does that matter? I mean, what difference does that make now? I mean, it's but this is this is going to be a. But it's like I said, it doesn't matter now. It started. Hello, Fidel. Like it doesn't matter now. I've started. It's now running, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to walk around for a bit because you might get seasick. Yeah, but the thing is, if you take too long to, it's like with Windows Update. You can cancel them, but you know, every time you do that, that's another fucking. When it finally, it's all going to catch up to you eventually. Oh. So, you might get seasick during this live stream because I'm going to walk around. Want to see my favourite birthday present that I got? This. Yeah, flowers in a vase. I know, but I just love them because it's the dumbest thing to buy me. Why would you buy me flowers? Would you buy Dick Coughlan flowers in a vase? Makes the room smell nice. You haven't been in my room, have you, mate? It's got a rabbit and 2 rats and me to compete with. The fact that those things are still alive after a day is fucking. It's a miracle, quite frankly. Well, nicer then, not necessarily. It's like putting a Glade plug-in in a public toilet. I mean, it's like, you know. You say you've made your chair, like you've put it together, is what you mean, haven't you? You put your chair together. Yeah, there. I can do that. You're still quite proud of it. Well, you know. Still at 1%. See, I love an Allen key. See, it will go in my mandrel. Every bit of furniture you assemble, you keep the Allen key because that's my prize. You go in my mandrel. Imagine if you typed coat of arms and Allen keys into Google, you'll find that someone's already made that. There's got to be a bloke somewhere. There's got to be loads of blokes in the world who are called Allen Key. I want to know, who's Gordon Bennett? You know that. You know. Okay. Refresh our memory then, Nick. Who was Gordon Bennett? And how did his name become? He was an eccentric millionaire, you know. So how did his name become synonymous with people going? He was known for alarming behaviour, so his name became synonymous with people going, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, now the little circly thing on the thing is now frozen. Have a good birthday. I woke up at 1 and was asleep by 10. Have I watched any of the recent drama? No. How did that come to be? How did he use it? It's like a spelling bee, isn't it? Use the N-word in a sentence. Use the... He was talking to his driver. Right. Well, I mean, he has the. I mean, the thing is, though, it's like this gets into the argument I have about, like, it's like when people go on about the right of free speech. It's like, yeah, you okay. Let's have a different discussion. Let's not have a discussion about whether you've got the right to use something. Let's have a discussion about whether you actually need to do it. You know, let's have that discussion. It's like, yes, you have the right. Yeah, do you have the right to do this? Yes, you do. Do you actually need to? You know, is there, you know, what do you do that, you know, throughout your daily life that requires you? I mean, you know, it's like the whole, this goes back, you know, remember the whole Draw Muhammad Day thing? I'm like, yes, look, you have the right to draw the Prophet Muhammad, you have the right to burn a Quran, you have the right to do all of this. No one's taking that right away from you. Let's have a different conversation about whether or not there's any point to it, it's necessary, or whether it's even a good idea. Because I feel that if your defense of doing something is simply, I have the right to, then what you're effectively saying is, I don't actually have a good reason to fucking, you know, I don't have a good reason to do this. Because you shouldn't really, you know, the reason, you know, to do something shouldn't just be, well, because I can. Well, you can do lots of things, you know. Do you have the right to use the N-word and burn a Quran? Yeah, you have, you know, about using the N-word in jokes, okay. Yeah, but I mean, what's the point in arguing about the right? If you're arguing about, yeah, but the argument shouldn't be that. The argument should be, should you have the right, full stop, to use it? Because, you know, because if he's saying specifically in jokes, then is what he's saying is you don't have the right in other contexts? Because surely if he's right, you know, if he's saying you have the right to say it, then you have the right to say it in any context. Therefore, narrowing it down to the specific of jokes is kind of irrelevant. Because if you're going to argue that in certain contexts, you know, yeah, but again, I mean, this gets into the argument that I don't, you know, that I happen to not agree with, where it's like, I don't agree with this idea that, like, you know, and this is a point that's made. Oh, something's happening. It's gone off. You know, I don't agree with this idea that, you know, that a specific word is bad in any context. You know, context is all words are. You know, because without context, then words are literally just sounds coming out of your fucking mouth. You need to have, see an echo, you need to have context. You know, and you've got to take it on an individual basis. This is an argument I've had, you know. I mean, you can defend it on like I said, you can defend it in the use of, if you're just talking about, do you have the right to use it? It's like, well, yeah, you have the right to use it, but you know, is there a need to use it? I mean, there's like you have the right. This is the thing that I would say: you have the right to do lots of things. You know, you have the right, you know, to, you have the right to, if you're over a certain age, you have the right to smoke. You have the right to drink. You have the right to drive a car. You have the right to have sex. You have the right to get married. You don't go and just do those things, do you? You don't go and just do them just because, you know, if someone said to you that if someone was out getting drunk every night and they were borderline alcoholic, you wouldn't do that. Yeah, but I mean, moral rights, are moral rights a thing, really? I mean, rights are just, you know, rights tend to be devoid of morality. You know, it's like, I mean, that sounds like a sort of, I mean, in the moral context, ultimately comes down to a subjective. That ultimately comes down to subjectivity at that point. Oh God, hold on, 1 second. Yes.
Yeah. Why would you pay me?
I can get you some of it for, you know, or you can wait to the end of the month and I'll have more to give you.
End of the month is what? Tuesday.
What day is it? So it'll be next week. It'll be middle of next week. I can get you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem, mate. Sorry, there's a landlord. Where were we? Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing about so having there's no such thing as a moral right. There are rights, and then there are. What's the opposite of a right? I mean, I suppose a wrong, really. But I mean, if you're someone who is racist, then in your eyes, you would argue you have a, you know, it's morally okay for you to use it, you know, and that's well, something's happening. It's saying just a moment. Of course, this is a Windows moment. So this could be God knows how long. Well, I mean, no, it's something. You know what? I don't know. Let's give it a. Yeah, it's a. Because if this bloody works, and I've just got to reinstall everything. That's gonna be a fun day, isn't it? Which means I've then got to go through all of my emails to try and find the fucking code, the registration code to fucking. Oh, it's done something. Oh, it's gone off again. Oh, it's now on. Please wait. Hold on. So if this works now, you call that a chair? No, I don't call that a chair. This is a mattress, mate. This is better than a chair. Resetting this PC. It's done. It's doing it now. Too late now. Too late to go back. Not better than my chair. No, it is better than your chair because it's a mattress. And laying down is better than sitting down. Fact, you know. Sitting down is better than standing up. Yeah. Refreshing your device, 1%. Not with your back. Well, I haven't got your back, have I? You haven't installed the footrest. You have to be spectacularly lazy, don't you? You get a chair specifically with a footrest. We're not doing Tough Mudder. Well, I haven't applied for it yet. Well, I mean, the next one, I mean, the one that I talked about doing, that wouldn't be till, it's not going to be for till next year. But that's if I end up doing that. It's not 100% yet. It's got to be. But if I do next year's one, but you know, there's always the year after. If I don't do next year's, you know, maybe it might be a good idea to wait, given how fucking horrible it's going to be. Yeah, the first website Safari. See now, the first website Safari, that was a video that I made by accident. Right, that was a video. That was just a video. I just, you know, again, that was one of those videos I just made by accident, and that turned into. See, but I can't. I would happily re-upload them, but I can't. You know, the algorithm. My personal favourite website Safari is number 4, because it's edited like, it's like the geezer from Kitchen Nightmares has edited it. It's so over edited and overdone, and it's just the whole thing is just, you know, it's so over the top. It's like, this is a guy who's just got some new editing software who wants to use literally every single effect. Also, I remember it took me 6 days to edit. I thought it would take me about, you know, 8 hours maybe, and it ended up taking 6 days to edit. But I've tried re-uploading them, and every time I try and re-upload them, they don't last. You know, YouTube just, you know, immediately flags them down. So yeah, so I can't re-edit. It's weird. The first Racist Fire, that's still on my main channel, but the subsequent you know, 4. Refreshing your device, 1%. Right. Oh. Right. Well, I must say, I thought it was going to take longer than this. Saying that, we don't know how long this is going to take. No. Not as much of a challenge as I thought. But there you go. On. Would I consider doing it? Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not that I wouldn't consider doing it. It's just that if I can't upload, I mean, maybe I'd have to retitle them or change it. But it's like if I can't upload them, then what's the point, really? I mean, if I can't upload them onto, if you, I mean, I can upload them somewhere else, and upload a video, but you know, but like I said, if YouTube don't, you know, if I can't upload them on YouTube, then kind of what's the point, really, you know? I mean, this video I'm editing now is kind of a bit like that. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like me going through, it's me sort of like reviewing a website. Maybe if I did it as an individual thing, maybe if I sort of changed the title of it and I sort of like, you know, if I change the title of it, and then it'll be a bit, maybe a bit different than that. But I mean, it's but I was going through my fucking Google Chrome bookmarks the other day. I've got 13,000 bookmarks. Now, in all fairness, a lot of those are duplicates, but still, it's still a lot. I don't really know where I'd upload it at this point, because Vimeo, I was uploading all my stuff on Vimeo, but then Vimeo took all my fucking shit down. All those people who say you should go to Vimeo, Vimeo took everything down. I didn't even know they'd taken it down. They didn't send you, they didn't send a message or send an email out or send a, you know. I just went to my Vimeo account one day and it didn't fucking exist, and none of the fucking shit was there. They were just deleting fucking content. I mean, for all the bad shit, for all the fucked up, you know, dumb shit that YouTube's done, it's not, they've never just taken all your stuff down with no explanation. The explanation, they give you an explanation. It might be bullshit, but at least there's a fucking explanation. At least they give you the opportunity to counterclaim it. Again, might almost never fucking work, but at least you get the opportunity. I've still got all the video. I mean, I've still got copies of them all. I've got them all on. I've got like MediaFire accounts and fucking Dropbox, and you know, and there's videos that are, you know, scattered around. Have I done prank calls? No. To be honest with you, I can't do. I find, you know, doing them. I can't do anything that involves sort of like. You know, I'm very bad at doing stuff that involves me, you know, innocent people being pranked for entertainment, because that's effectively what you're doing with a prank call. You're phoning up someone, And I can't do stuff like that. Like, everyone has to be in on it. But I've got nothing against... I've got no moral objections to crank calls and that. I just can't do them personally. I feel... I get, like, you know... I get second-hand embarrassment from it. Or first-hand embarrassment, I suppose it would be. No what? Hi, Ben. Some are funny. I mean, they're probably not as... I mean, the problem is now, is in this culture... because of YouTube, you know, now we live in this culture where so many of these prank channels have been found to be fake, like they're staged. That, you know, it's just... Favorite leader? Don't really know, to be honest with you. Can't really answer that question. Because, to be fair, I can't answer that question because, you know, I'd have to actually live in the country, because you can sit there and go, well, you know. Plus, there's a sort of difference between, like, liking someone as a person and, you know, I can see that, like, I can look at some people and go, well, he's a terrible leader. He's a terrible politician, but he's good. You know, he seems like a decent bloke. Even though he's, you know... Yeah, but making Gorka furious, I mean, you know... I mean, Gorka blocked me on Twitter, so that shows how fucking... Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is awesome. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, and I would take him... I would take, you know, I would take it, you know... No, I think he's actually a good leader, because you don't care that he's crap, you know, to an extent. Like, your average person doesn't care that he's crap, because he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he's still not very good. But still, it's like, you know, I know about his life. I haven't read his book. I doubt I'll read his book. I mean, but I know about his... Yeah, but I defy anyone who's just like, you know... But I mean, when you consider... I mean, if someone had told you the most reasonable and the only really likable member of the Republican Party is going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, you'd be like... I don't know who Majid is. But... The Rock isn't a Republican, though. You know, The Rock isn't... I mean, no, The Rock's not a politician. He's an actor. Oh, the Mayor of Sheffield guy. Yeah. But, I mean, he's not really got any... Mayors in this country aren't the same, are they, though? I mean, they're not like in America. In America... I mean, the only mayoral position in this country that means anything is the Mayor of London. And even then, you know, there's only so much you can... do. But I mean, outside of that, like, who's the mayor of any, you know... I mean, as far as the Rock was he certainly used to be a Republican. He was at he did speak at one of the RNC one year, but this was long ago, back when he was back when he was still in the wrestling. I wouldn't say most wrestlers are. You know, it's like, you don't really know what, you don't know what most I mean, a lot of them don't. I'd say, if anything, a lot of them seem to be more there's certainly ones that get involved in politics seem to be, but a lot of them seem to be more, but at the same time they always seem to be very decent people. They never seem to be, they never seem to be they're not that, like the Rock's still the Rock, isn't he? I mean, Chris Pratt is a Republican, apparently. I mean, you can't really say Chris Pratt isn't a very likable guy, is he? I mean, he's a I mean, the wrestlers that go into politics, I mean, a lot of them have got, I mean, you've got Kane, he's a Republican. He's the governor of, what's his face? Fort Knox County or whatever. Jesse Ventura, who wasn't a Republican. Jesse Ventura was actually a third party candidate before becoming a bonkers conspiracy. It's still at 1%. Well, Daniel Bryan. I mean, there's a guy who's he's about as fucking. I mean, I don't know what his political. I mean, but he's about as his politics. I can't imagine him being a Republican. I said not a lot of wrestlers. Is that Eddie from Bottom? That's they're all. That's Richie and Eddie from. But they're all. Those are different sizes. That's the same picture in like in 6 different sizes. I drew all of them. Yeah. And you can't see it over there because he's got the thing in the way, but that's a giant picture of Rick Mail. Oh, this wall used to be covered in, but I've taken them down and put them in a folder. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift isn't a wrestler, though, is he? I mean, we were speaking. Plus, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what these people. I mean, these people who. Jim Sterling. What about? Stardust, you mean? Yeah, but he's not wrestling. He's not a wrestler, is he? He's not like, Taylor Swift. You're pushing the limits of a definition there, Shadow B. Oh yeah, Taylor Swift. Real struggle. It's a real struggle for these tall, attractive blonde women to, you know, struggle. They really struggle, don't they, in the world of pop music. It's a real fucking, you know, I'm not busting on her. I like Taylor Swift. I've got all her albums. Yeah, come at me. You don't know any of her songs? Well, then you haven't lived, then. To be honest, Ben, she's doing okay despite that. Okay, you're stretching the definition of what open-minded is. I'm open-minded. I will listen to Taylor Swift. I mean, it's like they're perfectly decent, you know, pop songs. I mean, it's perfectly, you know, catchy, inoffensive, you know. Is she the one who had a? Yes. Well, I mean, it's not. It's kind of yesterday's news, beef with Kanye, but yes. He's the one. She's the one that Kanye did that whole. You know, she won the best album award, and Kanye did that thing like, "I'm gonna let you finish," but Beyonce had one of the greatest albums of all time. But and you're like, man, what a dick. Still on 1%. Obama said he was a jackass. He did. Well, you're talking about Kanye West now, and I'm sure most Kanye fans miss the days when he was just a jackass. Now he's fucking. Now he's mental. Hi, Yvette. Yeah, but that was years ago. I mean, I remember that, but that was a long. That was still about 3 years ago. Scooter Braun, never heard of him. He's the guy who looks after Bieber. Well, that's a very important job. Do I listen to metal? Yeah, I listen to everything, mate. I like everything. I'm one of these weirdos who doesn't really have a, you know, who kind of likes, you know, if I like something, I don't really care whether it's cool or whether, you know, or you know, whether it's you know, or whether, you know, whether it's fashionable for me to. If I like something, I'll listen to it, and you know, someone's good. If something's good, it's good, you know. Even jazz, yeah, even jazz. You know, I mean, you'd have to, you know, be specific. I'm not a jazz aficionado. I'm not a jazz expert. I'm not really a fan of that. I'm not really a fan of that sort of, like, you know, white people jazz, which just sounds like a blues quartet falling down a long straight. Hey, Backstreet Boys, man, don't fucking. Backstreet's Back is a bit is one of my favourites, but hey, you know, in the 90s, man, they were massive. You know, you can't fucking. That's the great thing about this being this age is, you know, is Do I like Rammstein? Yeah, I don't mind Rammstein. I think any band that can gain any level of popularity in English-speaking nations by making music that is in a foreign language, clearly they've got something. Clearly they're doing something right, you know. Because that's not easy, you know. It's like for all that people can bust on, you know, people can take the piss out of Gangnam Style, but that's a song that's entirely in Korean that was one of the biggest pop songs of all time, you know. The song "Girls" by The Prodigy. I'm not familiar with that one. Do I like K-pop? I like that band. Who is that band? They're called. I think that there were three young girls, like young Japanese girls, but they were sort of like, it was sort of like a combination of J-pop and death metal combined with dubstep. See, I know who BTS is, but I don't know any of their stuff. Baby metal, that's it. See, I like them. And what I like about bands like that is they just they really piss off the music snobs of it, because they cross a boundary. They're doing, you know, they cross a boundary where, like, you know, where they bring so and they piss off those pretentious arseholes who just, you know. I'm sure if I listened to BTS, I'd be like, I'm not one of these people I fucking can't stand people who obsessively hate certain. It's like, if you don't like a certain type of music or an artist, fine, but don't obsess over it. It's like, what? Don't listen to it. You know, just don't. It's like, if you don't like Justin Bieber, that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to not like anything, but don't obsess over it. Yeah, and all you're doing is just, you know, you're just doing them a favour at the end of the day, because, you know, I mean, he's not hurting anyone, you know. There's nothing wrong with hating. I mean, hating's fine. It just, you know, just circle. It's what I call the circle of concern. You know, you've got to narrow. You've got to learn. Oh, it's on 3%. It's on 3%. You've got to learn to narrow your circle of concern. Do I like Logan? I didn't even know Logan Paul did music. You know, don't get me started on Jake Paul. It's everyday, bro, because that is just. I mean, having just sat here and said that I hate, that is a song that. I mean, I hate it to the point. Like, I mean, it's this stream's been going 73 minutes, and I've thought about Jake Paul. It's everyday, bro, about 4 times since I started. Like, oh, it's gone up to 8. It's just shot right up to 8. It's shot right up to 8. I mean, I hate that song in a way that I just can't even begin to. I mean, I listened to it once, about 1.5 years ago. I mean, it says a lot about Jake Paul, that he's brothers with Logan Paul, and I mean, Logan is the less offensive of the two. You know, it's I mean, I get with Logan, I just get the sense of, like, he's harmless, you know. he's just a bit of a knob, but he's harmless, you know. Who's dumber? Well, I mean, I don't know. They're both very successful at what they do. I mean, to be fair, you can't really compare the two. They're in different. Oh, it's on 12%. I mean, the only time I remember, I mean, there was a point last year when Logan Paul had that fight with KSI. I remember, I mean, I was defending, but oh, it's gone up to 24. I actually defended that because fucking boxing fans were just getting on their high horse about that fight, and it's just, you know, it's like, really, you think this makes boxing look bad? You know. I'm not installing Windows updates. I'm reinstalling Windows because I've been left with no choice because my computer's just fucked. So this is the only, everything's freezing all the time. So I've been left with no choice but to just reinstall Windows and start again. Did I back everything up? I don't need to back everything up. I mean, I've got copies of what I need, yes, but I mean, I don't need to back everything up because, I mean, I'll have to reinstall everything anyway. I'll have to but I mean, your files should be. You know, it says your files will be fine. Like the files you've got should be fine. Like all of your Sam Pepper. God, there's a blast from the past. He can't still be around, can he? Well, actually, he could be. I'll say that. And I heard of Logan Paul before that. Did I have a nice birthday? I didn't do it. I mean, I woke up at like 1. And then I was asleep by about 10. So it wasn't I didn't do much. First of all, you can't say midget anymore. Well, I mean, you can, but I mean... So 27%. Well, no, because a dwarf and a midget are two different things. So there's an example of when I don't get... I mean, I don't get... Thank you, Jono. I don't get, like... To me, the expression little person... That sounds more patronising. You know, just little person. %. Well, it's coming along nicely now. Yeah, 31. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to speak to. But it's weird that I know that there's an example of a weird culture, because like in this country you're not supposed to say midget. Apparently midget is. Oh, but you can. But in America that's not the case. I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, everything's dependent on the person, isn't it? Is the Brexit extension happening? Well, I think so. Well, no. If it happens, then you're looking at January. I know you use little person too, but midget is still not. You know, it's still not considered. You know. Or maybe it is now. Maybe it's. I mean, to be honest, I've never heard a. I've never heard one of them complain, but then it's. Why don't Labour lift it? Why are you asking me, Pissimo? Because they've got two different fucking positions. Am I happy to see Justin Trudeau? I couldn't give a shit, quite frankly. I don't know what a Wexit is. Yeah, but I don't know what you say. We just say a Welsh exit. What, in Canada? I mean, you're welcome to campaign for one. It doesn't make any. I don't think. What I don't see how that's gonna. I don't know. I've asked twice now. I don't know what. I don't know. I've asked what Wexit stands for. I don't know. See you later. You thought it was amusing, but what is it? I don't get the joke. And I refuse to carry on until you explain it. We can't sing manic songs, mate. We can't sing. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, everything. Do you know what? When I was doing my last live streams, one of them got a copyright strike for Kitchen Nightmares because of that one stream when I played my Kitchen Nightmares video. But the funny thing is, it didn't happen until after the stream was over. This thing about saying the N-word with a hard R and a hard A. I mean, is there any difference really? I mean, someone can say, "Oh, I said it with a hard A." Does that matter? I mean, how do you know someone's saying it with a? You can't just change the letter on the end of it and then suddenly that makes something okay. Yeah, I know they might not say it, but it's still the same word, isn't it? It's just one happened to be spelt differently, but it's still the same word, isn't it? Like I said, I mean, you can't. Someone couldn't sit here. I couldn't sit here and just throw the N-word around and then say, "Oh no, I was saying it with an A, not a hard R," because that wouldn't change the context of what I was actually saying. I bet they do when it's a white person saying it, though. Is my point. If I sat here and said, "I think all N-words should be killed," I can't then turn around and say, "Well, I meant N-words with a hard A, with an A instead of an ER." Is my point. It's at 33%, so it's slowed down a bit, but it's nearly done. Yeah, but singing along to a rap song. Yeah, but we're not talking about that, is it? I mean, we're talking. That's a different, again, context. We're not talking about singing along. But some people don't even like that. I've got some. I've known some black people who don't like any. Who don't even like that. Who don't like. I mean, I tend to judge it on an individual basis. I know some black people who don't care, and some black people who do. And if I'm talking to the ones who do, then I won't say that word around them, because that just seems like the considerate thing to do. But if I'm talking to someone who doesn't, and they're not bothered, and they're, and the conversation goes a certain way where I need to where that word needs to be used, then, yeah, he was against it in his later life. That don't mean, yeah, but I mean, that don't mean anything. I mean, I kind of disagree with, I kind of see his point. But I think he was talking more about, it from the case of, you got to, understand. But I mean, here's the thing: if he'd killed himself, we wouldn't know that. I don't think, and there's people who, you don't have to agree. Richard Pryor he's not the authority on it, and there's loads of comedians there's loads of comedians and people after him who've used it, and I mean, like I said, I get his point that he when he but at the same time, I think he underestimates. Because it sounds like a stupid thing to say, but I mean, he was the first black person in entertainment ever to use that word in the casual sense that that black people did, because that's what everyone did. And and there is a sense of like there is the argument of reclaiming certain language, of like, it's like, right, this is a word you've used to attack us. We're going to take that word and we're going to use it. We're going to change the entire context of it and use it in the opposite way to describe each other. There's an argument. There's an argument for that. And he was kind of, and he was the first person ever to do that, in terms of like mainstream entertainment. You know, before him, no one. And I don't feel that him doing it, you know, made it more acceptable for people to use it. I think it was the opposite. Again, it's just my opinion. But I didn't watch Richard Pryor and think I'm going to go around saying that, you know, be better. Okay, mate. You're going to find some breakfast. But dude, the fucking... You might miss my Windows reinstalling. I mean, what could possibly be more exciting than that? Ugh. You'll hurry up. You don't have to hurry. You know, it's always... It's nearly dinner time. Well, not where they are. Okay, I don't normally do A5s because they cost. I did originally. I normally do A4, A3, A2, A1, and A0. I'm happy to do an A5, but that'll be probably 20 quid plus postage and packaging to send it out. So whatever that costs. Yeah, probably 20. So that'd probably be about 25. But I mean, I did them originally, but then I stopped doing them because what's 25 pounds in Zimbabwe dollars? About $1 trillion. It's about 25 trillion Zimbabwe dollars. I don't even know. I'm probably not even far off. I mean, if it's a drawing I've already done, then, but like I said, I stopped doing A5s because they just weren't worth. In the end, they just weren't worth it in the end of Why, did you have something you wanted me to do, or did you want something I've already done? Well, A0 is that. That's A0. A0 is 16 sheets of A4, which is that. You can get, there are 2 sizes bigger than that. It's okay. It's stuck at 36% now. It hasn't moved. Actually, believe it or not, A0 are actually a lot easier to draw because you can use a thicker pen, and because the lines become much bigger, you don't have to be so, like when you're doing like an A3 or an A4 size on drawing, you have to really, like, the detail is a lot smaller, so you have to be a lot more, there's a lot more fucking, you know, sort of delicateness, whereas when it's inflated, it's a lot fucking easy. You can use like a thicker nib, and it's literally a case of like it's not even. Yeah, they make very good Christmas gifts. I've done, I can, you know. But I mean, for example, on this one, like that one of Richie and Eddie, like this one of Richie and Eddie, took about the same amount of time as the last two. Because when you're doing stuff like, I mean, like the stuff on his jacket, and like the sort of detail, see the bit that's the awkward part with all these drawings. The bit that's the most you spend, like things like the eyes and the nose and the mouth, that's fucking easy. But it's things like the sort of the bit around the jacket, like the bits around the chin, the eyebrows, you know, the hairline. I mean, if you look at the like if you look at the James O'Brien one, like I mean, like the stuff like like the hair and the beard and stuff like that, that's where a lot of the, you know, or like, you know, all these like little lines here along the jacket, they take a lot longer. That's where there's a lot more. That's where the sort of the difference is, you know. Whereas like a lot of it, whereas like when it gets bigger, it's just, you know, it becomes easier. Okay, it's at 37. Oh, 6 minutes to download. And we're. The ones I did for you. Which one did I do for you? Which ones did I do for you, Green? You have to forgive me, I've forgotten. You have to forgive me because I can't remember it. I've done a lot for. So which ones did I do for you? Were you? Hold on, were you the Slipknot? Ones or? Oh, sorry, mate. I couldn't. I didn't know this was your username. Oh, yeah. No. I'll be honest. Look, one of you and your fiance were relatively easy because you two are so young and you've got such you know, nice, soft, unblemished skin that you've got no features beyond your, so like you've just got to do the nose, the mouth, and the eyes, and there's nothing else. Yeah. Whereas like, you know, when you try and draw, you know, whereas when you try and draw someone who's like, you know, I mean, if your missus didn't have hair, if your missus didn't have any hair, her portrait would literally be like an emoji, circle, dot, two eyes, because because you've got very, you know, like I said, you've got very soft and unwrinkled, unblemished skin. Whereas, like, you know, if you've got to do something like, you know, whereas when you get into, like, if I was trying to draw Gordon Ramsay, he's got wrinkles everywhere. He's fucking, you know, or you're trying to draw someone who's very hairy, you know. Oh, it's at 38%. Yep. Oh, yes. Now, if this works and this fixes my computer, another thing I can do is I can start seriously planning this mammoth, this 60-hour live stream that I want to try and do. Which, and this sounds ridiculous for a live stream, but because of the length of time it is, there's got to be some planning involved in it, because I can't just start it and fucking, you know, oh, it's got to be, you know, I've got to plan stuff in advance. You know, think of stuff to do to fill the time. Any suggestions? How did Gordon Ramsay like that? Well, part of it is when you're working in a kitchen, is you're, you know, you're hot, you sweat, you know, it's to do with, you know, working in a hot environment, steam constantly in your face, you know, sweating a lot. Plus, he is nearly fit. He's in his 50s now. He looks bloody good for someone in his 50s. He doesn't look much different from how he did, you know, 20 years ago. 60 hours. Well, that's kind of the point, mate. It's kind of, it's a challenge. You see, the thing is, I wasn't going to do this, right? I was going to do, you know, I was going to do, like, I was originally going to do, see, in 2009, I did the first ever 24-hour live stream. And I thought, and originally the plan was, in May of this year, to sort of celebrate the 10-year anniversary of that, to try and do 48 hours. The problem was that before I had a chance to do that, H Bomber Guy comes along and does his fucking live stream on Twitch, and he goes and lasts 58 hours. Now, granted, he had sleep in that, but I thought, if I'm gonna fucking do this, do it properly. So I thought, I've got to beat that time. So 60 hours is a nice round figure. So I thought, I've got to beat 60 hours. So I've got to beat his time without, you know, without sleep. You know, and it's not impossible. I've done it before. Granted, a lot of those times when I've been awake for 60+ hours, granted, you know, I had chemical enhancement. Sometimes I lasted that long because I had chronic insomnia, but there have been occasions. It's not impossible. You can, you know, without any, you know, you can last that long. But like I said, it just requires planning. You know, and I've got, and you know, and I mean, I did have some. You can barely last 40 minutes. Yes, but that's but you know. You could if you tried. You just got to like, you know. It's at 40%, folks. We're at 40%. We're at 40%. But you know. Right, well, that's only 3 hours, Ben. That's not really much use, is it? I mean, the first obvious thing is you burnt yourself out when you were young. Don't fucking... With all due respect, Nico, who are you talking to now? You want to talk about burning yourself out when you were young? I just turned 40 this week, mate. So... You're not going to get any sympathy from me. I mean, there was a couple of things I've had a couple of. I mean, the first thing obviously is to have like special guests and co-hosts and that. But what I wanted to do was try and get the majority of people who I can get on to like co-host for a bit, or to do like, you know, or it would be mostly people from like the old days of YouTube, like people who are still around, who, you know. No, you can't, Ben. Oh, because I'm not going to ask you to be one. Well, then you're a wuss, Dasnek. I'll give you a... I once stayed awake for nearly 2 weeks. I don't know exactly how long it was. It was somewhere between 12 and 14 days. I could get napalm on. Yes, there's lots of people. Maybe Lewis, if I get desperate. Yeah. But like, you know, certain, you know, people, you know, even asking people, you know, people who, you know. Even you know, just like people from the old days who don't, you know. Yeah, I've got lists of people. I don't need that, you know. Even maybe a couple of people who you might not be expecting. I mean, I mentioned this in the last live stream, but I recently had on Facebook a private back and forth exchange of messages with Captain Awesome. Jesus Freak? I wouldn't be against having Jesus Freak on. Oh, do you know what? If he would agree to it, you know, I wouldn't even be against having fake Sagan. Would you the stream be about? Okay, rearrange that into an actual sentence, and I'll. What do you mean it'd be about? It'll be about nothing. It'll be about, can I go fucking 60 hours? Drinking with Bob. Drinking with Bob doesn't exist anymore. I'm not having Propaganda Buster on. Draw a line there. He died. No, he's just not about him. No, not Bricky. Why not? He's awesome. I don't care. I'm not having Propaganda Buster. The end. It's at 41%. I'm not having Propaganda Buster on theend.com / shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, you lot. Just about that. Another idea I had. Another idea was, because I'm going to be on for 60 hours. It'd be try and think of something I can't do, and that you can. Like, can I learn to do something in 10 hours? Caruth's. I'd have Ben Caruth on. I would. Yeah, but can I learn to do something in 10 hours that I can't fucking do beforehand? You know, like just using instructional videos or, whatever. Can I learn how to do something? No, not juggling. But let's think of a reason, Ben, why juggling might be a bad option. If I can't assemble, I can assemble a chair now. If I can't assemble a chair in 10 hours, let's think, Ben, why fucking, let's think, Ben, for a second, why juggling might be a... See, now knitting, believe it or not, that was one, it would be a real challenge. Yes, it would also be fucking infuriating. If I was able to get like a cheap, so we say electric keyboard, it'd be, can I learn... Yeah, but I can already draw, Nick. That's not really a challenge. I'm talking about something I can't do. The idea is, can I learn something in 10 hours? If we did it during the week, right, it'll be funny. We could actually just, I could ring up James O'Brien when he's on at 10 a.m. Can I learn to play Steel Dre? Well, I don't mean just learn a simple tune. I mean, can I learn something? How far can I get in 10 hours? Plus, Steel Dre is not exactly that difficult. I mean, I probably could learn to do that in about an hour. Yeah, but I can't. I don't play any computer games, and I don't have the facility to play one. I'm talking about learn a skill. I think you can pretty much learn any computer game. What do you mean exactly? What do you mean exactly? That means I have to get the facilities to play. Yeah, I can already play the guitar. Well, no, I would say you may be picking it up a lot easier, but I mean, just because you can play the guitar, learning to play the guitar and learning to play the piano, that's the only computer game I can play. I've already got. I mean, that could be another... I'm not going to learn to play Guitar Hero, am I? Because I would have to buy Guitar Hero, and I'd have to get the pissing guitar thing to play Guitar Hero, and the console on which to play it. Bearing in mind, this has got to be entertaining and interesting for people to watch. So, learning how to do something, whilst learning how to learn another language might be interesting. Is it going to be entertaining for 10 hours? I mean, I don't have to do 10 hours in one go. I could do a couple of hours at a time. Okay, I can't become a magician in 10 hours. I could learn loads of tricks. I know some magic tricks already. I used to have magic sets when I was a kid. Yeah. I can't become a magician in 10 hours. Plus, how do you do that in a fucking, Yeah, learn to cook meat. Yeah, for someone who's a trained chef. Yeah, that'll be a fucking challenge, wouldn't it? I think, you know, I like Das Negro there, learning how to knit. That's quite. Like I said, if I could get like a cheap, you know, electronic keyboard, you know, learning to play the piano. Or learning to play something on the piano. Yeah. Yeah, I could. Like I said, I mean, that'd be easy. I mean, finding an electronic keyboard wouldn't be that difficult, you know. I actually I did have when I was in 2004, I did start having piano lessons. But then I moved house shortly after, yeah, but like 3 lessons in. Good for you, mate. Oh, here's something. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be playing I'm going to be in a play that's going to be running next year, and after and we're going to be in the local theatre. I auditioned for a part in the local theatre. I got 2 parts, right? 2 big parts as well, yeah, huge parts. And apparently, after we do the run at the theatre, we're then going to be touring the show at various places, and we're going to be entering it, and I didn't even know this existed, into the National Drama Championships. So I could end up, you know. Some people are saying my parts are huge. Lots of big roles, lots of huge, bigly roles. Well, no, they are actually, because they're is the play is it's 5 mini plays where they're sort of all interconnected, and and I've got the male lead role in 2. Oh, don't worry, Das. I think if I win, Das, you know me. If I win, I don't think I'll be, you know, too shy on bringing it up. You know, I like to keep, you know me, Das. I'm a shy and humble guy. I like to keep my achievements. I don't like to brag. You know, it's like that marathon. I don't know if you remember. I did a marathon earlier this year. I barely mentioned the fact that I completed a marathon. You know. 44%. I mean, it wouldn't just be award winning. It would be, you know, national champion. I am the British world heavyweight. I'm going to get a belt, mate. I'm going to get a replica belt from. Walk around with it like this is along with my marathon, along with my marathon medal, my world championship. %. We're nearly halfway there. It's a very fun, and it's a comedy play. If you want to look it up, it's called Confusions by a guy called Alan Ayckbourn. It's very, very funny. And I don't know what the whether the director's trying to tell me something, but both parts I've got involve me as this, sleazy guy in his, early middle-aged, who's, one of them's trying to pull two women who are far too young for him, and the other one has knobbed someone else's wife who's far too young and got her pregnant. And I don't know what he's trying to say, but at the very least, this is the first time in my entire acting career, if you want to call it that, where I haven't been cast as a homeless person, a serial killer, or a junkie, or some combination of those three. So there's that. I can now add sleazy, philandering, homewrecker to my list of of degenerates that I'm able to play. I'm not typecasting. Look, typecasting. I don't care about typecasting. People want to complain about typecasting. I've always said, look, if you're an actor, you know what's worse than being typecast? Not being cast at all. I'll take typecasting. I don't care. Plus, I don't think you can call it typecasting if it's three different characters. Plus, I can't really. What am I going to get cast as? I mean, look at me. What do I honestly expect to get? See, I don't actually know what he always. I don't know any other films he's been in. The fact he's called the blonde kid in Harry Potter. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hardly going to get cast as the sort of as the the good-looking hero, am I? This is what I look like, So, but that's good. That's fine. I've also got to shave my beard off. So actually, I'll probably do that. Tomorrow, because I've been asked to shave my beard off for this role. So, animal abuse in play. Well, there you go then. Yeah, some people just they have a certain look, don't they? They always play. Yeah. But you don't see him complaining, do you? You don't see him complaining about I'm always cast as this, that, and the other. You say that, but I mean, I think the qualifications for you being a wizard require more than a beard. And plus, at the end of the day, anyone can grow a beard. Some people, yeah, okay. Not everyone can grow a beard, but most people can grow a fucking beard. Well, my point is this: is the qualifications to be a wizard require a bit more than growing a fucking beard. It doesn't say much about I remember when that fucking TV show Vikings started. I used to get just dozens of messages from people going, "Oh, they're auditioning for Viking," and the auditions were never anywhere near me. They were always in like Ireland or. think it's quite telling that so far Alexander Roach has not come into this chat room. I wonder whether I pissed him off last time and he's not coming back. So I booted him out of the fucking room. Why? Because he started talking unmitigated. But I'll put it this way: it started with he started just ranting and raving about, like, about we the people. This is what he said that just took me over the edge. Right? He said, if there's a general election, the Tories will not win a single seat. That was what he was. That was his. That was what he claimed. He reckons if there's a general election tomorrow or whenever there's going to be another one, the Tories will lose every single seat. And I was like, you are literally mental, right? You must be fucking insane. What do you mean they're going to lose? Of course they're not going to lose every seat. And he was like, yeah, everyone's either going to vote Labour or Brexit Party. And then he says that, and then he says that the Lib Dems will be second. I don't know how they'll be second if everyone who votes for the Tories is going to vote, for the Labour or Brexit Party. And I was trying to get him to actually sort of, to justify this, and he just was talking utter bollocks. So I fucking booted him out of the room. Yeah, but this is the thing. I pointed out to him last night that you do know the Tories are leading in all the polls, right? By a good, by a good fucking margin. And he's like, oh, that's because of smear campaigns and Brexit. And I'm like, what, you think they're going to stop? Even if that's true, what, you think the smear campaigns are going to stop? And Brexit's going to stop. Brexit, it's still, you think that's going to end because, and he's like, oh, we can wipe it all out with a campaign. Like, what do you mean wipe it all out with an election campaign? What, so suddenly it doesn't matter? Like, what are you talking about? And then he just started saying random shit, going, I would never vote Tory. I'm like, I'd wipe a monkey's ass with what you would and wouldn't do. I don't give a toss. And he drove me fucking mad. And so I just booted him out. I thought it was quite appropriate because that live stream started with me having a go with that, at a right-wing reactionary, and it ended with me having a go at a left-wing reactionary. Yeah, but they're not going to campaign. I don't think that's fair to say you campaigning on social media. That's a bit unfair, I think. I mean, there already is restrictions on. I think the restrictions are fair enough, really, already in our. There's you've only got a couple of weeks. There's already restrictions on the amount of time the election campaign can last, and and the restrictions on the restrictions on what's his face, and how much you can spend is it's like 125 grand is the most you can spend. Yeah, I think asking people to not use social media is a tad, yeah. Yeah, but whether he's lost you or not, Ben, who are you going to vote for? Because it's, yeah, you can vote Lib Dem, but Lib Dem ain't going to win. They might gain seats. Yeah, but he's not going to. Yeah, but this is not, again, this is something you have to learn as you get older with politics. Is you have to learn to accept reality, right? You have to learn to accept, this is what's going to happen. You're going to vote SNP. Okay, you're in Scotland, fair enough. But, they're still not going to win. Yeah, but I mean, the paid campaigns. The thing is, that Das is everyone can pay. You know, the amount, because the amount of money is limited. Then, if they want to invest that money into into adverts on social media, then that's fine. But it's all coming out of the same budget, you know, and everyone can use it. Bloody hell, we're at 83%, folks. 85%. Only 86%. 87%. This is fascinating. This is quality content. You don't trust the Lib Dems. It's fine, mate, but I mean, you're still voting for someone who's not going to win. %. This is high quality content, isn't it? You know. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame. Look, I'll defend the Lib Dems. I don't blame the Lib Dems for taking the "we're going to cancel Brexit" thing, because, you know, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's like saying, look, rather than have a second referendum, if we just take a solid position and campaign on the basis of if we win the election, we'll cancel Brexit. Then if they go and win, which they're not gonna, but if they go and win, then you kind of like, that's kind of the second referendum done, isn't it? I mean, that's sort of like they've said, like, you know, we've campaigned on this. Oh, I saw that Tim Pool thing. Tim Pool's always been a fucking idiot. You know, I mean, I don't know. I honestly, he's so fucking useless. So what he forgets with that argument is that, you know, it wasn't like people had a choice, did it? Between, you know, there are some people I know who would argue that he didn't go far enough. I don't talk about wrestling, PC Mo. Shut up. Yeah, I think that's the only part you need to see, really. I mean, his whole analogy about concentration camps was just stupid anyway, because it's like nobody's campaigning on that. You can't, you know. It's hard to sort of like come up with a hypothetical. 89% that's not going to happen. You know, and because you don't know what the consequences are going to be, because, you know, as a result of it, it's kind of a dumb. Yes, but I don't care what you wish, Ben. It's 89%. 91%. Oh, we just skipped one there. This is edge of your seat stuff. This is high quality content. This, folks. Exactly, Desnick. Exactly, Neko. Yes, he could do 99%. We're at 99%, folks. Holy fucking shit. I feel sorry for the people who have left this stream early. You watch, it's going to be on 99% for the next 2 hours now. Oh no, it's gone! It's gone! It's gone! Would be fair. No, 140 minutes. You know, plus it was doing... Yeah, I think that as well, Curtis. But, you know, this is not the world we live in. Hold on. No, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We don't know what's going to happen. Okay, the HP symbols come back. It's more exciting than that. How many New Year's Eve countdowns have you been to, right? This is the first time this has happened. This doesn't happen. This will be the new thing. This will be the next big thing in online content, is people live streaming whilst they reinstall Windows. No, it says preparing. Okay, now, oh God's sake. Okay, now it's installing Windows. Okay, so plenty of time. It's okay, we're nowhere near done yet. It's okay. False alarm. I didn't really set a trend for 24 hours. I was just the first one to do it. I mean, to be fair, trend, there weren't a lot of people who, you know, lots of people had done longer. There was people who fucking copied it afterwards, but I mean, someone was going to do it eventually. Oh, installing Windows. We're already at 26%. Why is it this has taken less time than your average Windows update? To reinstall the entire system has taken it's taken like less than 3 hours. Whereas I've had updates that have taken literally a fortnight, right? Don't turn off your PC. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if I did? Do you know what would make me absolutely burst into tears, like with laughter, like go into an hysterical fit of psychotic laughter? If there was a power cut now, if there was a complete power cut, and I had to start this all over again. Yeah, I know that, Colkey. I know. It's fucking... It's there, you know. Yeah, that's my point, though. It's still taking less time. Is my computer... No, it's I've only had it a few years. Yeah. Don't tempt fate. Well, it's... No, I have had power cuts before. I've had power cuts. Not that many, to be fair. I haven't seen the Joker movie, so no. I don't know. show, but I don't know whether the first part was still. I have no idea. I have no idea how this would work. I was looking forward to it. It doesn't mean I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I don't have a cinema in there's no cinema in my hometown, so I know a few years is always, well, a few years is always a lot. I mean, Moore's law. Yeah. But most people don't get a new PC every year, though, do they? How's the weather? It's been raining all day. It's never been the weather that's caused a power cut, to be honest with you. I mean, it'd have to be like it would have to be like a fucking, like there'd have to be like a pissing hurricane outside. But it's. You're leaving, Nick. For God's sake, Nick. You know. You're leaving now. We're about to. Okay, it's just jumped to 26 and now it's stayed there. Okay. No. That's something they said. What is this? This must be deliberate on their part. They don't, you know, the fact that the percentages make no fucking sense whatsoever, or the time. It's that Eddie Izzard joke about the fucking the loading bar of time. It says 8 minutes to download, 6 minutes to download, 2 minutes to download, 8 minutes to download, 9 years to download, 3 minutes to download, 3 seconds to download, 14 days to download, 3 hours to download, 4 minutes to download. Well, it depends. Yeah, but I mean, this has happened before, though, isn't it? I mean, someone reinstalling Windows to their computer. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to reinstall Windows into their fucking computer. Yeah, this is the first. You know, this is the laziest live stream I've been. I don't think I cannot be laying down anymore. You know. Well, it's actually less files than that because you know all of the apps. Yeah, but this is not reinstalling a program. This is reinstalling the iOS. I'm quite impressed as well. No one in the chat has commented on how fucking disgustingly filthy all my pillows are. Brilliant. Right. So that's there's something for me to aim for. Okay. Well, I haven't reinstalled it with a disk. I don't have a place. You know, I don't have a place to put a disk. But I can't take that out. Yeah, that would involve me having to take it out, though. I am not dismantling my fucking computer. I'll just take it to the shop that's 2 doors down. Say, fucking fix this. I mean, what's wrong with it? I don't know, it's broken. Let me at least try and sit up, you know. Oh, it's gone. Oh, no, it's back again. It went off, and it came straight back again. Oh, it's on 32% now. Fuck you, Ben. I can't take my eyes off the pissing thing now. This is like... They should do this to fucking subdue crowds. They should just dangle giant computer screens over rioting mobs of people with a Windows installation. I can't download anything at the moment. I can't even play anything on my phone because I'm fucking live streaming on it. You're craving pasties. What, for breakfast? Go and get a fucking pasty then. What is a pizza? I'll tell you what it is. It's a pasty that some arsehole hasn't shut yet. The yellow vest movement. Dude, that's fucking... That's ages ago. Is that still a thing? What do you think? What do you think my opinion is of it? Anyway, I mean, that's what the far right do. That's what they've always done. They hijack things. If something's popular, they'll hijack it. It's whether it's, you know, a cultural thing, whether it's language, whether it's fashion. That's what they do. Well, then, you know, use your fucking brain. Well, then go without, you know. It's nothing to do with originality, mate. They steal things that are popular because that is the most effective way for them to normalise what they do. It's nothing to do with coming up with original stuff. You know, they don't do it because they can't think of their own, They do it because it's an effective way of making their ideas and their politics more live stream. It's got nothing to do with a lack of creativity or originality. It's to do with what is effective. What is the most effective way of getting their politics into the mainstream. It's what they've always done. This is politics. They're not artists. Because they understand that their idea, particularly nowadays, they understand that you can't just, that their ideas are not the most, seemingly, not the most palatable or easily agreeable on the surface. So they have to find a way to normalise it. It's got nothing to do with being original or creative. You don't need to be original or creative. This is politics. This ain't. We've been over this before. Okay, the title of that was called Chryslamic Ray Guns. And that is on my main channel. And it's one of my best videos. It's one of the best videos I've ever made, that one. And more than anything else, the fact that it's so many years, and it kind of proves my point that, because I made it as a direct response to stuff Chris Ray Gun had said, and I know he's seen it, right? But he doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't fucking respond to it. It kind of proves my point that these fuckers sit there and they claim they want debate and discussion, and yet the second someone gives them something, 43%, they just they run away and pretend it doesn't exist. I mean, this is the hypocrisy of people, and this is the hypocrisy of these people. Hold on, it's just gone down. It's nothing to do with him. He's not the only one. They all do it. It's just, he sits there on Twitter and he'll find one or two examples of random people calling him a racist or a fascist or a Nazi, and he'll act as if those are the only fucking responses that you get, that no one actually responds with anything. And so I thought, right, here you go. It is an entire hour-long video just for you. And what do? They fucking ignore it. They pretend they don't exist. And this is the hypocrisy of these people, because these are the same people who will cry and piss and moan when they get blocked by Steve Shives. And I'm like, what's the difference between... Steve Shives blocks you. Okay, so fucking what, right? You can still respond to his stuff. You can still You know, you don't have to. He's not like he's the. It's not like he's the be all and end all of every fucking thing. You know, you can. You know, but what's the difference between someone who, you know, if you know, someone who blocks you and someone who just ignores you and pretends you don't exist? What's the actual difference? Okay, it just shot up to 64 and it's gone off again. I mean, this is why, and I kind of, you know, this is why, you know, those, oh, it's, the screen's gone completely off now. HP popped, HP symbols back. And this is the thing, it's like, you know, the people, you know, there are people out there who are far too quick to just jump to calling someone a racist or, you know, or a Nazi or whatever. And to be honest, those people annoy me more than they do the people who are calling it, because they make my fucking effort, they make the effort of people like me a fucking waste of time. It's like you're just giving these fuckers. Oh, it's gone off again. Oh, it's come back. These people render the effort of people like me and other content creators who actually create, you know, who actually do have arguments and actually do have substance and don't just fucking, you know, they make it a fucking joke. They render it fucking meaningless, because it's like you're just giving these people what they want. Oh, a welcome. Now we're back to the script now. We're back to the things at 64% still. God, this is tense. This is what happens when you quit drugs for. This is what happens when you've been sober for 13 years. This is all I need. This is all I need for excitement in my life. One second. Ben, I will kick you if you do that again. Name that tune. Name that tune. That was MC Hammer. Can't touch this. point saying. There's no point just saying a fucking. Oh, we're at 81%. There's no point just saying a fucking tune. My music touched me so hard. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I know that. He didn't nick the tune from there. He sampled. He didn't nick it. Nicking would be what Vanilla Ice did to Under Pressure. Well, you say that, Das, but you know, I have the opposite feeling when Under Pressure happens. Fuck off, Dawson. Vanilla Ice. You say he's one of the worst rappers in history, but is he really? I mean, he only really did 2 songs. You know, people forget. You know, it's got to be said. You know, you weren't alive when Ice Ice Baby came out. I mean, he was played on. You know, he's seen as a joke now. It's at 96%. But I mean, when he first came out, he was. I mean, he was the first sort of like legit white rapper that there had been at that point. You know. Gorillaz are the greatest hip-hop band. No. Gorillaz are good, but the greatest hip-hop group? Really? Better than Public Enemy? Or NWA? Oh! Oh, it's... Here we go. We've got some updates for your PC. Okay. Well, go on then. Okay, so okay. Okay, I don't know who that is. Have you considered Dawson? Well, fuck off. Have I computer? Yeah, I've just got $1,000 sitting around. I've got $1,000 sitting around that I can spunk on a new computer, you fucking cretin. Yeah, this might take several minutes. Will it really? Okay, the screen is just flashing from blue to black. I'm just... I mean, seriously, Dawson, did your parents have any kids who lived? Yeah. Neville or Billy Kidman? Neville, obviously. Fuck off, Dawson. The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start a conversation with just me and give it a try. Come take my hand until the radio and then we start to dance. So I'm talking, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. Oh, come on now, follow my lead. Yes, but still, it's still 300. Yeah. Look, if I just had, like, you know, a fucking thing that I could just edit videos on, that would be fun. Because in all fairness, the only real thing I need a computer for is the internet stuff, and that, you know, like my browser was working fine. Making sure that your apps are good to go. Why, thank you. Almost there. Oh, there we go. Your device's diagnostic level has been set to basic. Fantastic. Okay, let me just... Okay, it looks like that's it. Right. Okay, well, the first thing I've got to do is reinstall Chrome. It's done it. It's reinstalled. It's got it. What's wrong with Firefox? That's just I use Chrome. That's it. Everything's working smoothly. What was the problem? Does it matter now? The problem was everything was shit. It doesn't matter now. It's fucking... I swear to Christ, if you sit here and go, oh, you just need to do that, I will fucking kill you. Now, this does obviously mean the annoying part is I will still have to re-edit that entire video, but at least now watch your back, mate. You've been getting gobby with Have I? Wow. Well, I mean, I've only been doing that for 10 years, mate. I'll tell you what, shall I give you my address? And you can come over here now, and you can teach me a lesson. I won't have to watch my back. You can knock right on the front door. You wouldn't attack a man from behind, would you, surely? I hope you're watching me. You should be. Well, everything seems to be working. What does gobby mean? It means I've been mouthing off. To be fair, I've been doing that for over nearly 25 years now, so I don't know exactly what. Okay, Chrome's installing. That's installing. Yep. It looks like it's all worked, I'm afraid, guys. So there you go. We beat Windows. See, you notice, how long does peanut butter last? Well, it depends, really. Surely it's got a best before date on it. I mean, not massive. I mean, longer than butter. It doesn't last forever. Ah, peanut butter, the atheist nightmare. Do you remember that video? Yeah. Remember the old peanut butter, the atheist nightmare video? That was yeah. Best before dates are a conspiracy. Okay, you're welcome to think that, but yeah. Your face is a conspiracy. That's true. It's Lucky. I offered Lucky my address so he could come round and do me in. I didn't block him, didn't kick him out of the room. Even though all he's done, all he had to do was, he came in here and just threatened me. And he's gone. I mean, I don't know about you. Who invented peanut butter? Well, I don't know. He'll get lost. Yeah, but at least I've given him the chance. At least I've given him the opportunity. Well, it's meant to be salty. It's got peanuts in it, mate. I mean, You need to sort your life out. To be fair, Lewis, I mean, if there's no mould in it, it should be fine. As long as it doesn't smell bad, it should be. Yeah, I remember that video. You've eaten rancid walnuts. Yeah. I've never ever, I had it once, I've never ever understood peanut butter and jelly as a filling. It's just, I've had it once and I'm like, how on earth does this, you know, peanut butter and honey? Okay, the thing is, everything here is, all of my passwords are on my phone. So, oh, here we go. Quick start guide. Yes, all right, fuck off. I know how to use this pissing software. Thank you. Yeah, it's all, oh my God. I know I don't need to re-edit it. Yes! I don't need to re-edit it. The file's still there. Get in. There you go. What's the time? 8 o'clock. Could I get this done? I reckon I could get this done by tonight. Right, which means I'm going to end the show now. Yeah, I'm going to end the show now because if I can get this done and rendered in the next 2 hours, I can have this up tonight. So, wish me luck, folks. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure playing with you, gentlemen. I'll see you hopefully soon.